This is Viewers Corner News. Our news analysis today are on African presidents who have stayed for so many years in office should leave now. The military government in Mali has all it takes to take out the rebel groups in Mali. President Emmanuel Macron of France is fighting a battle against Africa that he can never win. Professor Wole Soyinka's statement in one of his interviews on issue related to Nigeria's presidential election in 2023 is shocking. If the All Progressives Congress, APC, had elected Professor Yemi Osinbajo or Mr. Amaechi during the APC primary as presidential candidate, Nigeria would not have been this disunited. Stay with us. African presidents who have stayed for so many years in office should leave now. No matter how good you may be as a leader of your country, there is someone out there who may be better than you. This is one of the reasons a democratic system of government has a time limit. But on the continent of Africa, such a system has been abused. Some countries in Africa have leaders who have stayed in office for over 45 years, which is not right. So, the Viewers Corner news team is appealing to those leaders who fall into this category to obey the constitution of their various countries, which says a particular tenure of office is allowed, by stepping down and handing over power to those who truly won the democratic elections of their various countries. Stop manipulating the figures to favor yourself when you know that you did not win the election. It is absolutely wrong to do so. The military government in Mali has all it takes to take out the rebel groups in Mali. Here are suggestions on this matter. It is no longer surprising to note that the West and a few other countries in the world with evil intentions for Mali and Africa have chosen to destabilize the country because the government of Mali has asked them to stop stealing the natural resources of Mali but treat and do business nicely with the people and government of Mali as equal partners, which in our opinion is not too much to ask for. If these conditions cannot be adhered to, then the West should leave Mali alone. Instead, the West allegedly resorted to arming the rebel groups in northern Mali with all sorts of dangerous weapons to fight and unseat the current leadership of Mali. This is based on our findings. It is so unfortunate that these rebel groups are all Mali nationals who have been deceived by some countries in the West to destabilize their country. Now hear this, if those rebel groups in Mali are smart enough, they wouldn't have listened to an outsider with evil intentions coming from the West and arming them with dangerous weapons to destabilize their country, while in those countries of the West, every good thing to make one have a comfortable life is working properly. For the military government of Mali to defeat the rebel groups, they should do some of these things, if not all. First, the Mali government should stop all non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and foreign nationals from visiting the rebel stronghold, which is northern Mali. Secondly, all borders linking northern Mali to other parts of Africa should be closed for now or properly guided by the military government of Mali because that is where equipment to fight the Malian government is being transported from. Meaning that all supply routes should be closed down completely. Thirdly, the military government of Mali should send dozens of armed military personnel to manage all borders in Mali. A lockdown should be imposed in northern Mali, which has now become a stronghold for the rebel groups. We believe that if all these we suggested are fully implemented, the rebel groups in Mali will cease to exist. The rebel groups in northern Mali are gaining ground because equipment and food supplies are freely being transported to them, but if you block those routes, things will change for the better. Rebel groups cannot be stronger than a country's military if proper strategies are put in place. Again, those foreign nationals going to northern Mali, all in the name of NGOs, are the real problems in Mali. So the government of Mali should tell them to leave the country immediately. If you examine properly those countries where these NGOs are coming from, one would understand that they have more serious homeless people and economic problems worse than Mali. Therefore, the government of Mali should tell them to channel their energy towards helping the people of their countries and leave Mali alone. All African countries should stop encouraging these NGOs to visit rebel strongholds anywhere such practices exist in Africa. We are saying so because their mission and visits to those places are not with good intention, which is the truth. Take it or leave it. Now is the time for Mali and other African countries to get things done the right way. President Emmanuel Macron of France is fighting a battle against Africa that he can never win. President Macron telling the continent of Africa that they have civilization issues during the G20 summit held in India, as alleged, should be seen as a statement coming from a man who has lost a battle he thought could be won so easily. Like we said before, only dialogue and treating countries on the continent of Africa as equal partners, accepting all the wrongdoings against Africa and trying to find solutions to fix those anomalies are the only ways forward. But making reckless and unfriendly statements would put France in a terrible situation. Again, France and other European countries, including the United States of America, have been in Africa for so many years that the only thing Africa as a continent has achieved so far is hunger, poverty, and leaders who are answerable to the West and the United States of America, just for the purpose of stealing the natural resources of Africa for their own benefit, while the majority of the people of Africa live in abject poverty. Right now, the new generation of leaders in Africa is aware of all these atrocities that are being inflicted upon them by the West and the United States of America. Hence, they have decided to have everything fixed, and surely they are going to get the job done no matter how long it may take. Professor Wole Soyinka's statement in one of his interviews on issue related to Nigeria's presidential election in 2023 is shocking. Professor Wole Soyinka used to be among Nigeria's great thinkers, based on his past records. But recently, he has been sounding differently, perhaps he has been bought over. Although the Viewers' Corner news team viewed Professor Wole Soyinka's statement as his personal opinion, which he has every right to express as democracy requires, but we believe that those who honestly saw what happened during Nigeria's presidential election would understand that it was badly rigged to favor Alhaji Bola Tinubu, which we expected someone like Professor Wole Soyinka to understand. It was very clear that Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party won the presidential election. The reason is that almost all the youths in Nigeria, including those with good intentions for the country, voted for him, but the Independent National Electoral Commission of Nigeria manipulated the whole process and hurriedly announced the result when Nigerians were still sleeping. So, Professor Wole Soyinka coming out to speak the way he did showed that he was not properly informed. We shall continue to advise everyone not to speak on issues they are not conversant with. Even if you are a professor and did not update yourself on certain matters of importance, it would be better to be quiet. If not, you would lose grip of everything, just like Professor Wole Soyinka did concerning Nigeria's presidential election matters, which he spoke about. The Viewers' Corner news team believes that Professor Wole Soyinka is living on his past glory, so Nigerians should not take to heart what he said concerning the presidential election of 2023. Professor Wole Soyinka was at some point a great man who stood and fought for the truth and unity of all Nigerians, so the people of Nigeria should see him that way, especially now that he is aging. If the All Progressives Congress, APC, had elected Professor Yemi Osinbajo or Mr. Amaechi during the APC primary as presidential candidate, Nigeria would not have been this disunited. President Bola Tinubu used his money to work his way to the presidency of Nigeria, and now look at where his leadership has landed the people of the country. The All Progressives Congress is a corrupt political party without direction, and few of the members of the All Progressives Congress who would have worked to pull Nigerians out of poverty were not given the opportunity to do so. Alhaji Bola Tinubu thought that with his money, all Nigerians would follow his lead. Even when he knows that he is not qualified to be the president of Nigeria. The people of Nigeria are wiser now and would want to have a country that works for them and the generation yet unborn. Again, if during the presidential primary of the All Progressives Congress, Professor Yemi Osinbajo or Mr. Amaechi had been elected, things would not have been this bad. Professor Yemi Osinbajo and Mr. Amaechi may not be perfect, just like every other person, but there are so many things they would have done differently to make Nigeria work better. Since Alhaji Bola Tinubu became the president of Nigeria, it has been from one scandal to another: certificate forgery, no schoolmates, drug issues, date and place of birth not known to Nigerians, which is very bad. One man with too many negative issues. This is unacceptable. If you want to get more analysis on politics and good governance, health issues and others, subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell. Thanks for watching. This is Viewers' Corner News Channel.